very much, Mr Speaker. Well, I thank my right honourable friend for bringing us record investment, financial stability and repeated interest rate cuts. But does she share my astonishment that the Reform Party is not only welcoming treacherous Tories who did so much to wreck our economy and public services, but is actually entrusting them with economic policy?
Well, my honourable friend is absolutely right, and the honourable member for Clacton is warmly welcoming people who spent 14 years undermining public services, who wrecked the economy, who botched Brexit, and who then got booted out by the British people in 2024. And, Mr Speaker, their latest recruit was so bad she managed to get sacked by Liz Truss.
Mr Speaker, whilst I'm looking forward to the Minister's statement a little later on, I'd like to push him, if I may. I recently visited one of my local pubs, the Masonic Arms on Lark Lane, which is a fantastic venue, and met Guy and Amelia. Currently, the overall sector picks up 2.8% of the overall UK business rates nationally, but only has 0.5% of the turnover of UK businesses. This is clearly not a fair tax for pubs and is a result of a uniquely skewed business rate system which actively penalises many pubs. What long-term steps can the Minister take to help pubs like the Masonic Arms and the wider hospitality sector?
I thank my honourable friend for that question, and she will know that we have permanently reduced the multiplier for business rates for retail, hospitality and leisure. But my honourable friend, the Exchequer Secretary, will be setting out more detail of support for pubs later today. We are determined to support pubs that are often the lifeblood of so many communities, but also to support all of our retail, hospitality and leisure sector. We are putting more money in people's pockets by cutting energy bills, by cutting train fares and ensuring getting people back to work so they've got more money to spend on the things they love and not just the essentials.
Shadow Chancellor Smolstra.
Well, Mr Speaker, could I begin by associating this side of the House with the Chancellor's comments about your leg? We wish it well, Mr Chancellor. Mr Speaker, we are waiting with interest to hear the details of the latest U-turn on business rates this afternoon. But if the briefing is to be believed, it will be far too little, too late. The Chancellor simply does not understand the desperate situation so many of our pubs are in. And what many pubs are asking is, why did the Chancellor choose to spend billions more on the benefits bill instead of providing proper, permanent business rate support?
Mr Speaker, when the right honourable gentleman was in government, 7,000 pubs closed under the previous government. We have permanently lowered the tax rate that retail, hospitality and leisure pay. And when I became Chancellor of the Exchequer, we faced a situation where all of the COVID support was going to disappear overnight. We've put £4.3 billion of taxpayers' money into supporting our retail and hospitality sector, including pubs. But we recognise the distinct problems that pubs face, which is why, unlike the previous Conservative government, we are setting out more support.
Well,
Mr Speaker, they just don't get it. And of course, it's not just pubs, Mr Speaker, it's the whole of the high street that is massive increases, some of well over 100%. Shops, restaurants, hotels. Where is the help for them?
Mr Speaker, some of the numbers that are bandied around by the right honourable gentleman don't reflect the reality, because they don't reflect this transitional support, the £4.3 billion of support that we've put in to taper those increases in business rates. But I don't think anyone in this House seriously believes that temporary support during the pandemic should continue infinitely. It would not be the right thing, and it would not be affordable for other taxpayers to do that. That's why we are tapering gradually the support with a £4.3 billion support package in the budget and some more targeted support for pubs later today. But I would just remind the honourable gentleman that he could have taken action when he was in government. Instead, there was a cliff edge with no support for pubs or indeed any other sector of the economy.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. Given the Chancellor has just confirmed that today's U-turn will only support our hard-pressed local pubs,
Could I ask her what message she has for independent restaurants and coffee shops like Bones in Twickenham that are struggling to survive, let alone grow?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Look, when the Liberal Democrats had the chance, what did they do? They put VAT up on hospitality businesses. Here they are, coming up with ideas, Mr. Speaker, without plans to pay for them, wanting to increase borrowing over and over again, rather than make sure we support businesses in a fair and sustainable way over the years to come.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My constituents are fed up of seeing more and more dodgy bob shops on Hagley Road, Harborne and neighbouring Bearwood High Street. Can the Chancellor say what the government is doing to tackle money laundering and other financial crimes involving dodgy shops blighting our high streets?
I couldn't agree more with my honourable friend, and that's why at the budget I announced, on the basis of many representations from colleagues, including my honourable friend, a comprehensive set of measures to crack down on illegal high street activity. We want our high streets to thrive, but these illegal businesses that are selling counterfeit goods and often harbouring more dangerous criminal activity have got to be cracked down on, and that's why we put money into it in the budget.
Pubs haven't had the support they needed for too long under the Conservatives. Members opposite claim to care about pubs, but where were they when the number of pubs fell by 7,000 between 2010 and 2024? They were in government. They let the number of pubs in our communities fall by a fifth. The Conservatives also allowed the revaluation to go ahead with a business rates methodology for pubs that no longer has the support of the sector. Before the budget, every pub sector body was broadly signed up to the methodology used for valuing pubs and had lent its support to the principles set out in the Valuation Officer's Guide. But since the budget, these same sector bodies have withdrawn their support. The government acknowledges their concerns and will therefore be carrying out a review of the pub valuation methodology, which will report in time to be implemented at the next revaluation. While this review is ongoing, and given the particular challenges that pubs have faced over the long term under the previous government, we are stepping in to provide support for pubs in the next 3 years. Today, I can confirm that from April, every pub in England will get 15% off its new business rates bill on top of the support announced at budget. Pubs' bills will then be frozen in real terms for a further 2 years. This support is worth £1,650 for the average pub just next year and will mean that around 3/4 of pubs will see their bills either fall or stay the same next year. Then bills will be frozen in real terms for the next 2 years.